All right, so going over the scale and the number system of D flat for the talk music. What to play in a moment of worship setting or the moment of transitional music. Someone's just speaking. There's no actual song being played. What do you do? So here's some of the concepts and things that I use in order to know what to play and to help um, usher in the atmosphere or whatever the spirit is doing in that moment. We're going to be in the key of D flat major, D flat. So the scale of D flat is the 1, E flat is the 2, F is the 3, G flat is the 4, A flat is the 5, B flat is the 6, C is the 7, and then you're back at the 1, D flat. Got a lot of hair on my keyboard. All right, so transitional music. Some of the things that I do, let's say announcements are going forward or the preacher is talking really soft. Again, I already did a whole video about, or the first part of this video was supposed to be being in tune with the atmosphere. So I'm not going to keep repeating that, but let's say the preacher is talking soft. So some of the concepts that I use, I will play parts of songs, but not actually play the song, okay? I will use that concept a lot, and I may switch between like different songs, just picking out little progressions from those songs or little pieces. There's little pieces, like almost like you have a paper and you cut out a little piece of that paper and you put it on another one. Like let's say you got a magazine. There's a magazine and it has a whole bunch of pictures, and you cut out a picture that you like from this magazine, and you have a blank piece of paper. You get some Elmer's glue and put that on there, and you cut out another picture, and pretty soon you got this whole art picture of just different pictures that you've taken from magazines. I look at it like that. So I'm taking parts from songs and I'm putting it into one. But it's, again, staying in tune with the spirit, not overplaying, not doing anything that's going to be overbearing, okay? So let's take a song, like what's that? Praise Him in Advance. That's the song. Praise Him in Advance. That song by Marvin Sapp. Sometimes I'll take chords from that. We're in the key of D flat. I'll just teach you about 4 chords real fast. 4 or 5 chords real fast that you can use. You can do something like this starting off. You got D flat, A flat, and E flat in your left hand. If you want to make this easier, just play D flat, D flat. All in all, you're going to play some type of a D flat major chord, but the way that I'm worsening it, you have D flat, A flat, E flat in your left, and your right you have F, B flat, C, F. If you want to make this easier, you can just play like that, which is D flat on the left, B flat, C, F in the right. You can even play it over here. That's D flat, C, F. Okay, next chord, going to the 2. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 as a progression real fast. That's the 1, the one I just showed you. Here's the 2. The 2, you have E flat on the left, B flat, G flat, B flat, D flat, F in your right. That's E flat and B flat. You have G flat, B flat, D flat, and G flat in your right. All in all, some type of a 2 minor chord. So this would be a minor chord over the 2. If you wanted to change it into an E minor 7, you do that. But this time I did that. So we went from the 1, 2. You can even do in your left hand, you can do E flat, D flat, E flat. And in your right hand, you basically just have a G flat major chord. G flat, B flat, D flat, and G flat again. Or you can do that 7, E flat minor 7. So you can go, or, okay. Let's see here. Another way that you can do that one chord, you can do D flat in the left, F, B flat, C, E flat. You can play it like that instead of that. B flat, C, and F. You can do F, B flat, C, and E flat over D flat. That was on the 1 again. Now we're going to go to the 3 because we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 as our progression. When we go to the 3, we can do something like this. So on my left hand, I have the 3, which is F. In the right hand, A flat, C, E flat, and A flat. So basically, you have an A flat major chord. A flat major in any inversion over the F. This is actually a F minor 7. So if you want to like transpose it to a different key, you just do the 3rd tone and do its minor 7th chord. Okay. First chord over the D flat. Second chord over the 2, which is E flat. Third chord over the 3. And you can even do F, C, E flat, and then an A flat major chord in your right, which is A flat, C, E flat. And if you want to add that octave A flat up there, you can do that too. If you want to make it easier, just F, A flat, C, E flat. Okay? So those options there. Another one you can do is this. So you got F in the left hand, A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat. That's F in the left hand, A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat. That's now we're going to go to the 4. And here's something that you can do, which is G flat in the left, B flat, E flat, F, B flat. Once again, that's G flat on the left. In the right, I got B flat, E flat, F, and B flat. You can add this D flat in there on the left if you wanted to make it a little bit more full. See the difference? Now, if you want to make this a lot more simpler, again, I'm using a concept of playing that song, Praise Him in Advance, but I'm not playing the song. So don't look at it as he's playing Praise Him in Advance. No, I'm just taking chords from it and I'm going to switch it to something else. And you'll see that here pretty soon. But I'm using concepts. In the very beginning of that song, it goes something like, right? There's something like that. Well, I'm taking that concept of going from that 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, because in the very beginning of that song, it does that 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So you can do a concept like that where you're going from the 1, 2, 3, 4, just playing chords that you choose. Because remember, this is talk music. There's no real right or wrong way as long as you're not being overbearing. So you can literally, and it doesn't have to be that fast, because if you do it that fast, that's going to be an attention grabber. And you don't want an attention grab. You want the the spotlight to be on what the speaker is saying. So I may go real slow using those chords from that song like this. Do some arpeggiations with it, then, right, I'm just playing the song, the chords that I've already shown you, just kind of playing with them, the arpeggiations, then go to the 3. Go back to it. Sorry about that. See, it's nice and peaceful. I'm stealing from a song, but I'm not actually playing the song. Now let's go to that, let's say, Ricky Dillard song, Amazing. So you got, we went from the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm gonna switch it and basically like play that song, Amazing. Now I'm switching it again, kinda. So let me show you that. I'm trying to remember how that song actually went, so I can show you the part. Like, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're so amazing. You're amazing. I'm not showing you this really. I'm just trying to get to that part so you can see the part that I stole from. You're so amazing. You cause the sun and moon to shine. I'm so glad you're mine. Oh, I'm glad to see you're mine. We stand right here. We stand in awe of you. Sorry. Amazed at the things you do. Say you're holy, worthy is the Lamb. Right? So now, so we stand. I'm stealing from that song, and I'm getting ready to use that a part of my talk music. So in the very beginning, the concept I was using was from Praise Him in Advance. Now I'm going to that song. You know? Okay, so let me show you that. So, in our left hand, I did this chord, which is G in your left hand, E flat in your left hand as well. So you got G, E flat. And my right, I have G, B flat, D flat, F. Okay, so I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm on the flat 5 with that G and E flat in the left, G, B flat, D flat, F in the right. Now I'm gonna go to the 5. So far we went from the 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 5, now I'm on the 5. Now on the 5, I have A flat and D flat in my left. I have G flat, B flat, and E flat on the right. So from the flat 5, you can even just, instead of playing this this chord right here, you can literally just play an E flat major chord in your left hand. In your right hand, when you're on the flat 5. It'll still work. Or down here in this inversion if you want, which is first inversion, E flat major is E flat, G, and B flat. That's E flat, G, and B flat, and that's over that G and an E flat in your left, or you can just omit the E flat since you're already playing it anyways in your right hand. You can play it like this: F, G, B flat, E flat. Or if you want to play it like that, that's F, G, B flat, and E flat, and that's still over the flat 5. Either way, you're playing the E flat major chord over the flat 5, which is G. So going back from the beginning, and let's do it with basic chords, okay? Let's not do all the, from the praise them in advance. Let's just do basic chords. You can do that too. Let's do, you got D flat in your left, and you have F, A flat, and D flat in your right. Now on the 1, you can do that. Now let's go to the 2, E flat in the left, got G flat, B flat, and D flat in the right. So you're basically playing a 4 major chord over the 2. Remember the 4 is G flat, so you're playing a G flat major chord, which is the 4, and you're playing that over the 2. So you got 1, 2. Now you're basically going to play a 5 major chord over the 3, which is A flat major, A flat, C, E flat over the F, which is the 3. Once again, that's, you're going to play a 5 major chord over the 3. So you got an A flat major, since we're in the key of D flat, which is A flat, C, and E flat in the right, and you're going to play that over F for your 3. I'm just showing you different options you can do to make it a little easier. Now when you get to this 4, let's play this. Let's go G flat in the left, F, A flat, and D flat in the right. If you want to add that E flat in your left, D flat in your left, not the E flat. You can. It's up to you on what your ear wants to hear, but you can add that too. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Over the 4, you can also just do G flat major chord if you want. The 4 major chord. G flat, B flat, and D flat. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to the flat 5, which is G in the left. You got G, B flat, E flat in the right. There's another way you want that you can play it. Now we're going to go to the 5. 5 in the left hand, which is A flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. That's a different way that you can play the progression that I just gave you. So in the beginning, I told you this. And I arpeggiated it, right? Something like that. This time I gave you this. Okay? Remember, this is just talk music. There's no right or wrong. It's just playing stuff. As long as it, well, there is a wrong if you're overplaying and stuff like that. This is just worship setting. You know, somebody's talking softly. And also remember, since you're not playing a song, you can pause on these and buy yourself some more time in order for the speaker to be able to talk, you know? So sit on it. Don't be afraid to, like this chord I showed you over the 3, when we did the F and the left hand, and we did A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat. Sit on there for a while if you want. Sprinkle it up. Sprinkle it down. Arpeggiate it in your left hand. Now go to the 4. Using the 4 that I just taught you. You know, you can go to this one. You can go to this one. You can go to this one. Now in this one, I am adding the A flat, which is G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat. Or like I said, you can just play that D flat major in first inversion, which was F, A flat, D flat over the 4. So you have options. Okay, let's go back to the original one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm switching the song over to Amazing, Ricky Dillard. We stand, that part. I just stole those chords. Now you're gonna go to the 4, G flat in the left, and D flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat in the right. That's G flat and D flat in the left, G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat in the right. You can do that. That's from, you go from the flat 5, using that chord earlier, or just the E flat major chord that I showed you over the flat 5. Now you're gonna go to the 5. I showed you this chord, which is this E flat minor in first inversion. That's G flat, B flat, E flat, and that's over the 5. You can even change the inversion of this right hand chord to either one of those type of E flat minor chords, first inversion, root position, or second inversion. You can do that. But then you're gonna go down to the G flat. So all in all, so I don't confuse you, I'm not teaching you a progression. I'm just showing you options of things that you can do. But so far, the progression, quote unquote, that we've used is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we went to the flat 5. Then we went to the 5. And that's where we are. And then we go down to the 4. The 4, I got G flat, D flat in the left, and then right, I got G flat, A flat, B flat, and D flat in the right. From here, you can go down to the 3, using that same type of a chord that we used earlier, either this one, where you got F in the left, A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat in the right. That's F in the left, A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat in the right. Or this A flat major chord in your right, which is A flat, C, E flat, A flat, and that's over F in the left hand. So now you can do it again. Flat 5, using that same chord I showed you earlier, to the 5. But now we're going to go 6 to the 7 to the 1. And here's a concept you can use to get there. Do some pickup notes, going from the B flat to the C. That's B flat to the C. When you get to the 6, because you're going to go 6, 7, 1 is the progression. When you get to the 6, do the pickup notes. When you get to the 6, you got G flat, B flat, and D flat on the right. And that's over the 6, which is B flat. From there, you're going to go to the 7, because remember we're going 6, 7, 1. Over the 7, you can play a 5 major chord. What is the 5th tone of D flat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th tone is A flat, so that's the major chord that we're going to play over the 7, which is A flat, C, and E flat. In any inversion, it can be second inversion like this, which is E flat, A flat, C. It can be root position, which is A flat, C, E flat. It can be first inversion, which is C, E flat, A flat. When you get get to the 1, you're going to play some type of a D flat major chord. Right now I'm playing it in second inversion. So I got D flat on my left, I have A flat, D flat, and F on my right. So some type of a 1 major chord. You can even do that and stay on the A flat major chord when you go to the 1. So you got 6, sorry about that, 7 with the A flat major chord in the right. You can stay right there and go to the 1. Because there is no right or wrong when you're playing these chords, okay? So that's 1, arpeggiating it. Now I went to the 2. I kind of changed the chord up a little bit. This is E flat, B flat, E flat in my left, and in my right I have F, G flat, B flat, D flat, or you can just stick with what I taught you earlier. You can even add that A flat in there. You can even do this, which is G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, and F. Many different options. Here's another thing you can do over the 2. D flat, F, G flat, B flat. So you can do this. You can do this. Grace noting off of that A flat. You can even play just a D flat major in second inversion if you want. A flat, D flat, F over the 2. So notice all those different options that you have. But anyways, you're going 1, staying there for a while, arpeggiating, going to the 2. All right, you can sprinkle it up. I'm just outlining the chord that I already showed you. So you got E flat, F, G flat, B flat, D flat, right? Right? Sprinkling it up the keyboard. Now from there, I did that sprinkle thing that I was showing you, where I'm outlining that chord. And then I went to the 3, just like we did, but I played it in second inversion, which is, I played my right hand, the A flat major chord, in second inversion. E flat, A flat, C. And I grace noted off of the B flat. So right before I hit this chord, I did B flat, and then I hit the chord. And I was over the 3. So once again, I did 1, 2, sorry, 1, stayed on the 1 for a little bit, now 2, and I did add this E flat at the end of it too. So you grace note off of the B flat, and then I hit the E flat, something you can do. Now I'm on the 4. You can do this. That D flat major chord, the first inversion, F, A flat, D flat, you know? So, all in all, I know I've been kind of showing you a lot of stuff, but I'm just showing you different concepts that I would take when I'm doing talk music. So I switched the song to that Amazing by Ricky Dillard. We did the 6, 7, 1. Oh, another thing that you can do, you know, when we did the 6, 7, 1 progression, we went 6, 7, 1, and I showed you over the 6, you got this G flat major chord, which is G flat, B flat, D flat. From there, we went to the 7, A flat, C, E flat, and then from there, we went to the 1. Well, another chord that you can play over the 7, instead of playing this C, A flat, C, and E flat, you can play this diminished chord in your right hand over the C, over the 7. Okay? So in my right hand I have G flat, A, C, and E flat. And that's over the 7. You can go to the 1. Or you can go to the 1 with that A flat major chord in your right hand, like I showed you earlier. A flat, C, E flat, over the 1. Okay? Now let's switch the song again. So first we did Praise Him in Advance, and I stole chords from that. Now I went to Amazing by Ricky Dillard. You know? We can do a 7-3-6 progression. Keep it going to the 2, 5, 1, 4, flat 7, because it's just chords, okay? So on that, so we did the, let's go back to the very beginning. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 5, to the 5. I just noticed there's a bit of sun coming through there. It might be hard to see what's going on. Sorry about that. All right, let's go again. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, 4, 3. Now we're gonna go back to the flat 5, and I arpeggiated it down. Same chord that I showed you, but I rolled it down. And then I hit the chord. Back to that 5. And notice when I hit that 5 chord, I did grace note off of the D flat. So right before I hit that chord I showed you, which is G flat, B flat, and E flat, I grace noted off of the D flat. So, right before you hit it, just to give it a little bit more flavor. Now we're doing that 6-7-1 progression. The pickup notes were B flat to C, and then we did 6 with the G flat major chord in our right. Then we did 7 with the G flat diminished chord in our right. And we did some type of a D flat major chord. So here I got D flat, A flat, C, E flat. If you want to add this F, you can do that too. But now we're going to go back to that 7 chord that we did, which is over the G flat diminished in the right. G flat diminished was G flat, A, C, E flat over C. I know I'm talking fast, but if I'm talking fast and it's too fast for you to keep up with, then pause it. Pause it, write it down, take notes, because I want to give you as much as I can. Now we're going to that 6. When we go to the 6, before we did this G flat major over the 6, which was G flat, B flat, D flat. This time we're going to do a D flat major over the 6, which is F, A flat, D flat. That's F, A flat, D flat over the 6. The 6 is B flat. So you're going from the 1 to the 7, sorry, to the 6. Okay. Now we're going to do that progression again, where we got the flat 5, same chord, to the 5, same chord over the 5, from the flat 5 to the 5 that we did earlier. But now we're going to do a 7-3-6 progression. Oops, sorry about that. B flat is all wiggly and messed up. So Or, you know, we can do something like, let's see. Either way, you're gonna do some type of a 7-3-6 progression. So the first one I did was got pickup notes going from the E flat, F, G flat. And you play a 7 in your left, and you have a 2 minor chord in your right in second inversion, which is B flat, E flat, and G flat in the key of D flat. So you got 7, which is C in the left, B flat, E flat, G flat in the right. You can do it like this if you want, which is you can do in a 7-3-6 progression. So you got the 7 we did. Now we're on the 3, which is F. You have A, D flat, E flat, G flat. You can do it like that. That's A, D flat, E flat, A flat. Or you can go to this chord, diminished. So you got F in the left, because that's the 3. You have A, C, D flat, G flat. You can even do this if you want. That's over the 3, you got F in your left. You got A, C, E flat, F. Any of those options. You can even do this. F in the left hand, you got F, A, C, E flat. You can do that over the 3 as well. You can even do this over the 3, which is that F, A flat, C, E flat, A flat. Okay. Another thing you can do, instead of going E flat minor on the 7, right? You can go E flat major on the 7. And it gives it a little bit of different type of sound. Right? So instead of B flat, E flat, G flat, you got B flat, E flat, and G. Because you went major with that E flat major chord in your right. Another thing you can do, left hand, F, C, E flat. You can go A, C, E flat, A flat. Once again, I'm just giving you options. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 5 to the 5, 4 to the 3. Then we did the flat 5 to the 5 again. Then we did 6, 7, 1. Now I don't think I showed you this one, but it's D flat in the left, F, A flat in the right, and then I did C and E flat in the right hand. But then we went down to the 7, then we went to the 6, then we went to the flat 5 to the 5 again. Now we're doing the 7-3-6. We're at the 3, which I just showed you. Now we can go to the 6. On the 6, you can play some type of a B flat minor chord. So I got B flat in the left, D flat, F, and A flat on the right. Another way you can voice the 6, it's like this if you want. B flat, F, D flat in the left hand. You can do C, D flat, F, A flat in the right. If you want to change that inversion, you can do something like this. You got B flat, F, B flat in the right, D flat, E flat, F, A flat, C in the right. That's if you use these concepts and you're not necessarily worried about playing a song, then these are things that you can do while somebody's talking. Okay. Another thing that I would sometimes go to is, let's see, what is that song? For I know it was the blood for me. For I know it was the blood for me. Sorry about that. So sometimes I may even take songs from that, like chords from that song. So you got G flat. I'm switching songs now. I'm switching, I'm just finding different chords from songs that I know, so I can add to the talk music that I'm playing. So let's give you that one real fast, and then we're gonna switch the feel a little bit. We're gonna go like they're getting ready to get a little bit more exuberant in their speech, or they're getting a little bit more charismatic in their speech. And I'm from a Baptist church, so they still sing songs like, If you're talking about Jesus, he's a friend of mine. I'm from a church where they sing songs like that a lot. So when they start to get a little bit more, you get that hoop in their speech, then I will change the way that I'm playing in order to correspond with what they're saying. Remember, being in tune with what they're singing. So I'm gonna show you these from that part that I just did. And then I'm gonna go into like, okay, we're getting ready to go into a more upbeat, high-spirited part of the service. I'm gonna show you that. All right, so we did the whole I showed you all this. We did the 7, 3, 6. I meant to show you this one right here. So we'll go over that in just a second. There's so much stuff I want to show you. So I think we ended here when we was on the 6. I'm gonna show you this version of the 6, so I can show you this next concept that I want to show you, and then we're going to what I was just talking about. So you got B flat, F in the left hand if you want, or just take the F out. In the right hand you got A flat, C, D flat, F. And this is over the 6. Remember, because we just did the 7, 3, 6 progression. So in my left hand I got B flat and F, or if you want to take the F out, take it out. But in the right hand, A flat, C, D flat, F. Now I'm going to go to the 2, and all I'm going to do in my right hand is I'm going to take this A flat and take it down to G. Okay? Because we're getting ready to do a 6, 2, 5, 1, 4 progression. Okay? We can do something like that. So from the 6, you go to the 2. In your left hand, you have E flat, and I'm doing octaves. You can add the B flat in there if you want. But the chord I have is G, C, D flat, F. And that's over the 2. So I went from the 6 to the 2. All right, so we went from 6 to, now we're gonna go here, 5. We're gonna go to the 5, I got A flat and E flat in my left hand. You can take the E flat out if you want. I got G flat, B, D flat, G flat. Remember this chord. Remember this shape and this voicing that we're doing on the right hand. G flat, B, D flat, G flat. Because I'm going to show you something cool with this. G flat, B, D flat, G flat. Now we're going to go here, if you want. D flat in the left. When we're on the 1, we went from the 5, now we're on the 1. So we got D flat on our left. We got F, B, D flat, F in the right. So we got on the 1, now on the 4. Remember, because we're doing a 6, 2, 5, 1, 4 progression. Over the 4, I got G flat and D flat in my left, F, A flat, B flat, D flat. Is my right. All I did there is I'm kind of cycling between a D flat major chord and an E flat minor chord. So the 1 major to the 2 minor. This is 2 minor, that's 1 major. 2 minor, 1 major. 2 minor, 1 major. 2 minor, 1 major. 2 minor, 1 major. So on the 2 minor, you got an E flat minor chord, which is E flat, G flat, and B flat. E flat, G flat, and B flat. That's a 2 minor. And then you cycle to the 1 major. D flat, F, A flat. You go down. 2 minor again. B flat, E flat, G flat. This time we're playing it in second inversion. Now we go to D flat major. It's a 1 chord, major. A flat, D flat, F. Now we're going to go down to E flat minor again. This time we're playing it in first inversion. G flat, B flat, E flat. Now we're playing D flat major in first inversion. F, A flat, D flat. Okay? You can go up with it. You can cycle between those chords and do like little different things too. So. I've already shown you all this. I'm just kind of playing with it. Sometimes when you hear me do stuff like that, so what I did right there is I rolled up from the B flat, B, C, and then I went down C, B flat, A flat. Because I'm playing a D flat major chord, so I just rolled up to the 7 and rolled down to the top of the tone that I was on, which is A flat. Sometimes you'll hear me. You'll hear me do that. So you roll up to the C, roll down to the A flat, and then, so grace note from the B flat to the C, A flat to the B flat. That's roll up to the C, B flat, B, C, roll down to the A flat, B, B flat, A flat, grace note from the B flat to the C, hit the A flat, then to the B flat. Alright? You can even roll up to the B flat. A flat, A, B flat. But so concept before we go to the high praise. We got of the 4. Since we're on the 4 already, we stay on the 4. And in our right hand, we're going to play some type of a B flat minor chord over the 4. To transpose it well, you have 6 minor chord over the 4. Okay, so if you're using the A flat, you know, 6 minor chord over the 4. So that's G flat in the left, B flat, D flat, F in the right. Now you're going to go down to the F in your left hand because you're going, right now we're going to go 4, 3, 2, 5 to the 6. This is that. I know it was the blood from me. I'm stealing from that song right now. But so you got 4, which I already showed you. 3, F, A flat, C, E flat. And you got E flat in the left, G flat, B flat, D flat in the right. When you get to the 2. When you get to the 5, A flat and E flat if you want to, or just A flat in the left hand. A flat, C, E flat in the right. Now you're going to go to a 6, but instead of doing a minor chord, which you typically would do over the 6, you're going to do a major chord. So you got B flat, D, and F. So you got 4, 3, 2, 5, and then a B flat major chord. Now I'm playing it in the second inversion. So here's where this would kind of like work. You know, they're talking, they're giving announcements. You're on the 1, I showed you this. You're on the 2. I showed you this. You're on the 3. You're on the 4. Flat 5 to the 5. To the 4. To the 3. Flat 5 to the 5 again. 6, 7, 1. 7, 6. Flat 5 to the 5. 7 through 6. Right? Now we go from the 6 to the 2. 5, 1, 4. They're still just talking. This is that, going from that 4, 3, 2, 5 to the 6 as a major chord. You can do that part again. 4, 3. Go to the 2, but use that concept that we did earlier. Let's go to the 5. Now I changed it a little bit. I went from the 5, but instead of doing this A flat major chord, now I'm playing more of like this dominant type of chord. So you got A flat, E flat, G flat in the left hand. And in my right hand I have C and F in my right, if you want. Or you can do it like this. A flat in the left, and then in the right you have G flat, B flat, C, F. But now let's say they're getting ready to, you know, they're starting to get a little bit more churchy in their voice. You know, first they was like, I'm just so thankful for being in the house of the Lord today. It was a very rough week, you know. But how many of you can say that the Lord truly brought you through? Is there anyone that can say that the Lord can work things out? You know, and now you're getting more so into like that high praise type of thing. And I did look kind of quick there, but I'm just trying to give you examples. I'm not a preacher, but So, all right. Whenever you're going into stuff like that, you're talking soft, you're in tune with the spirit, you're playing right up underneath them, you're not like overplaying. You can go to the flat 7, things like that, and a lot of the times, let me just say this before I go to that next part. A lot of the times, whenever I hear like someone say something like, because I just want to hear the Lord say when it's all said and done, servant, well done. I play stuff like this because it's almost like the race is over. You're thinking about what it is that the preacher or the teacher or whoever is talking. If you play chords that correspond to the message and the things that they're saying, this is almost like a relief type of chord. Like, this isn't something that's going to build up to high praise or nothing. It's you finish the race whenever I hear that. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, flat 5 to the 5, and then I hear this. It's like soothing, it's like now I'm going to take a nap type of thing. So this is a flat 7. You got B, G flat, B in the right, in the left. You can do this, or you can just hit the B. And it's basically just playing that same chord that I was playing over the 3. But you got A flat, D flat, E flat, A flat. But instead of playing it over the 3, now I'm playing it over the B. Right? That's over the flat 7. Where you go from there, you can go to the 1. So I went from the B to the 7, which is C, playing that A flat major chord over the C, which is A flat, C, E flat, A flat if you want. I was adding the B flat in there too. So A flat, B flat, C, E flat, A flat to the 1. And over this 1, I'm playing D flat, F, and A flat with my left hand, C, E flat, F, A flat in my right hand. Okay. Now we're getting ready to go into higher praise. Like they're getting ready to spark it up a little bit. Here's something you can do. You go to the 1. Remember I told you to remember this chord in your left hand. So I'm on the 1 now. Before we did this chord over the 5. And then we went to the 1. Now we're going 1. And we're going to do that same type of chord, but we're going to stay over the 1. Up. Rumbling a little bit. And we got the G flat, B, D flat, G flat in the right hand. Left hand you got D flat. And you're kind of, tremolo, I think is what it's called. But you're almost like an earthquake. Because remember, the spirit is now being raised. Like maybe they're being a little bit more charismatic in their speech. So you're matching that. It's almost like building. You're building to something. You're building to a climax, right? And I just took it down from the G flat, B, D flat, G flat. And I took my G flats down to F. So I'm hitting the same thing. You got F, B, F, B, D flat, and F. Instead of F sharp or G flat, B, D flat, G flat. I'm taking it down to this F. And I'm still over the 1. Sometimes you hear that. Now you're like full on into hooping almost. Getting ready to play these dominant chords, so you're here, you're watching them, you're listening, you're in tune. Sometimes you may hear that, which is in your left, you got G flat, B flat, B, and E flat in your right. Sometimes you may hear that. They go from this G flat, B flat, B, and E flat to this F, B flat, B, E flat. And this is all over the one. So here's one thing that you can do whenever it's like you're taking it up a little bit. Right? You're going to that 4. But before you go to the 4, you went from the 3 to the 4. Now they're in it now. They're almost in a hooping and they're getting everyone excited, everyone's they're on fire. And I wish somebody's soul would catch on fire. Something like that. So you got F, you got the 3 in your left hand, which is F, and then you're gonna go to this tritone in your right. E flat, A. E flat, and A. That's over the 3. Now on the 4. It's almost like you're playing like preacher chords now. That like there's preaching. You got G flat in the left, E, B flat, which is the tritone for G flat. So first we did the tritone for F. Our target note that we're going to is G flat. So we went, to the G flat. You can even go above the G flat because we're going from the 1 and we're going to the 4, but we're going to use a target note in order to get there, a passing tone in order to get there. So you can go from the 3 to the 4, which is what I just showed you, or you can even go to the flat 5 to the 4. It's basically a half step either below or above. And you can still use a tritone. Over the G, if you want to go above the G flat, you got G in the left hand, F and B in your right, the tritone for G. And if you don't know what a tritone is basically the 3rd and the flat 7 of whatever tone you're on. So in the key of G flat, if I wanted to play the tritone, I would have to look at the G flat major scale and pick out the 3rd and the flat 7 of that particular tone. So you got G flat, A flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, B, D flat, E flat, F, G flat. That's the major scale for G flat, where B flat is the 3, and the 7 would be F, but we have to flat it. So we have to go to the E, because that's the flat 7. Remember, you got the 3 and the flat 7. And that would be the tritone for G flat, the 3rd and the flat 7. Only difference is I'm playing it in a different version. Instead of playing the 3rd and the flat 7, I'm playing the flat 7 and the 3rd. Same thing, I'm just rearranging it. Same thing for G. You can go up a half step, play a tritone, and then go down to the 4. You can even do this. Go up above it, go below it, and then go to the target. You got right? So I went above it, I went below it, and then I went to the target, which is the 4, G flat. Over the 4, I'm playing G flat in my left, and D flat in the G flat and D flat in the left, and then the right I got E, A flat, B flat, and D flat. Something you can do. Another thing I like to do, instead of playing this E, A flat, B flat, D flat, instead of doing that, sometimes I like to go here, which is G flat in the left, D flat in the left, if you want, or you can just omit that D flat and just play G flat. But in the right hand, I got some type of an E major 7. E, A flat, B, E flat. Sometimes I'll even switch between those two. I got, see that? Here's the original one I showed you. And then here's the second one I showed you. So you got E, A flat, B flat, D flat. And you can switch that from E, A flat, B, E flat over the 4. You can go flat 5 with the diminished if you want. G in the left hand. E, G, B flat, and D flat. And then to the 5. Now, since we're in such a high praise moment, now we're using more dominant and 13th type of chords. So we got A flat, E flat in the left when we're on the 5, G flat, B flat, C, E flat. Now, another thing that you could use a lot during these type of moments is the blues scale. So if you use the blues scale, you can have like a little, have more opportunities to kind of, what do you call it? Not ad lib, that's more improvise. I think that's what it's called, improvise. So you got, shows you all this. You can do that. You know, stuff like that when you're playing with that blues scale. The blues scale, so that you can know it, is you got the 1, the flat 3, the 4, the flat 5, the 5, the flat 7, and then you got the 1 again. That's D flat, E, G flat, G, A flat, B, D flat. And if you just kind of play with that scale, you know, sometimes you can come up with little different improvisations in order to correspond with what's being, you know, said. A lot of the times I listen to my pastor, he does a lot of things with his voice that I will repeat on the piano. Like he does this thing about, yes, my Lord. You know, and I'll repeat what it is that he's doing with his voice. Yeah, that stuff. And I'm literally just, you have to practice it. Whatever the preacher, whatever the speaker is doing, that he typically or she typically does, you kind of repeat that. And you just got to kind of use your ear and pick out that type of stuff. So here's something that you can do. C sharp, D flat, E, G flat, G. So sorry, D flat, E, G flat, go back to E, and then you roll up to the A flat from the G flat. So that's G flat, G, A flat. Once again, D flat, E, G flat, E. Now roll up to the A flat. Do it twice. Now you go G flat, E. Now you're gonna go G flat, E, D flat. So that's ba ba da 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 da. Right? some hymn. They may go to some, maybe they want to shout. Maybe they want to, wherever they're going, you just follow them, okay? Using some of those concepts. You can go to the 4 and play this. It's a dominant 4 chord. You got G flat and D flat, B flat, D flat, and E. And you're right. Okay? Mainly, like whenever you're getting ready to do like high praise type of things, you switch your chords over to like dominant type of chords. Now, last thing I want to say, this is way over an hour again. Last thing I want to say, if you learn how to play chords with your left hand, a lot of the times you're free to do more like melodies and things like that with your right, which will help you learn those hymns and things like that too. Because in times when, maybe you just had a high praise moment, there are times where you can play some type of a hymn and kind of cool things down. Learn those two concepts as well, and it'll help you with talk music. So let's say, I'm playing talk music and I want to make things sound very pretty and bright. First I'm down here and I was playing all that stuff that I showed you, but now I want it to be a little bit more brighter and softer. Down here. Chording with my left hand now. Right? So if you learn how to play chords with your left hand, then a lot of the times it can help you to, it'll free up your right hand for playing chords to be able to kind of play soft, melodic movements, Using that concept that I showed you earlier. With strings, it sounds even, sounds pretty too. Another thing that you hear a lot whenever you're listening to those type of movements, let's say maybe they're not going into like a churchy hooping voice. Maybe they're lifting the spirit and they're raising everyone's spirit, but they're not going into that like that they're not going there. Maybe they're just raising the spirit, but they're staying in that same, atmosphere. Sometimes you hear them, you're on the 1, maybe on the, you're on the 1, but you're playing the 4. The 4 chords. So you got G flat major on your right, G flat, B flat, D flat. Sometimes they may switch it to like, you can think of it in terms of being like a 2 major chord. Sometimes you hear that, you hear him on the 1. You may hear him go to the 4 in the right hand. You may hear him go to that 2 major. From there, they usually go to the 4 on the right hand. So what that is, first I have the 1, this is D flat in my left hand, and I'm going to stay on the D flat in my left hand. That's going to be constant. I got F, A flat, D flat in my right. I'm going to go to a G flat major chord in my right, which is G flat, B flat, and D flat. Now I'm going to go to an E flat major chord. And I'm choosing this inversion, which is first inversion, which is G, B flat, E flat. Remember the D flat remains the same in the left. Go on the 1. Kind of rumbling it. Now we're going to go to this chord, which is in my right hand, G flat, A, D flat, E flat. That's G flat, A, D flat, E flat. Now I'm on the 1. Sometimes you can go to the flat 7 and play that chord that I showed you over the 4. Or this chord over the B, which is the flat 7. You got A, D flat, and F. Sometimes you can hear that walking from the 2 to the 5. Over the 2, you got E flat. You got A, D flat, E flat, G flat. Over the 3, because you're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the 3, you got F in your left hand, A flat, D flat, and F. That's 2, 3. Now you're going to go back to that chord in your right hand, A, D flat, E flat, G flat. And that's over the 4. Now you got the 5, which is 5 in the left hand, which is A flat. You can hit the E flat if you want. In your right hand, you got A flat, D flat, F. You're going to go to the 6, B flat, and F in your left if you want. D flat, F, A flat. Now we're gonna go, if you want to do the B flat, C, D flat, E flat. Let's pick up notes. B flat, C, D flat, E flat. Pick up notes. You can go here. E flat in the left hand, which is the 2. We're going to go to do a 2-5-1 progression. 2, you got G, B flat, D flat, F. Same chord I showed you over the flat 5 earlier. 2, got the 5, which is G flat, or A flat, and E flat in the left. G flat, B flat, C, and E flat in the right. That movement. I did A flat and C, so I'm holding the D flats at my right and my left, and then I go, and the left hand you got C, right hand you got A flat. Now you're gonna go down. Your left hand is gonna go to the B flat from B, or from C. From the C to the B flat, the right hand goes from A flat to G flat. Right? Now you're going to go down from the left hand from the B flat to the G flat. And your right hand is going to go from the G flat to the E flat. And last thing, you got resolve it. You got A flat in your left, You're right. And there are some grace notes in there too. So, all in all, what do you play during the worship service or during talk music? It really depends on the atmosphere. It depends on what the speaker is saying. It depends on, the mood and the way that the spirit is moving in the church service. That's what you play, corresponding to whatever's happening in the service. There are concepts that you can use, taking from songs, taking chords and progressions from hymns, taking chords and progressions from songs, but not actually just straight up playing the song. Because if you play the song straight, if you play a strong song straight, that's going to catch the attention of the congregation. And remember, you're just transitioning, you're just accompanying, you're just, creating an atmosphere. So you're not necessarily playing a song. You can play a song, and sometimes that may lead you into, some type of part of the service where it's high worship or high praise or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, if somebody's speaking, then they want to get the message that it is that they're talking out. And if you play something that overrides that, or that catches the attention of the congregation, yes, sometimes you may catch the attention of the speaker, and it may be corresponding to what he's saying, and then it leads them to, pass me not, O gentle Savior. Sometimes that stuff happens. Sometimes that type of stuff will happen, but for the most part, you want to make sure that you are in tune and you're gelling with what the speaker is saying and not like leading the charge, if that makes sense. Okay. So if there's anything else I can help with this concept, and it's such an important concept because you can make or break a service by understanding this or not understanding it. So it's a very important concept, very good question. If there's anything else I can clarify or something you would like me to show you or whatever the case may be, just let me know. But until the next video, God bless you and hope this helps you.